Rapist here once again. Hope you guys are doing well and staying safe. So it's Tuesday. So what? Let's talk Tuesday. So you guys like my new setup. I would love to do my Let's Talk Tuesdays out here because this is like my little peaceful area. This is like where I come for clarity, to do my yoga and all of that. So I think this is probably going to be my new spot to do these, except when the wind is blowing. If the wind will calm down, because it gets windy sometimes, it will make it a lot better. So let's hope that the wind will cooperate while I do these videos, and also, with them building houses and stuff, let's hope that they cooperate as well. All right. So before I hop onto the topic, I had asked you guys on Instagram, what kind of content videos would you guys like? Because I've been really trying to figure out and really dive deep into the direction that I want to take my channel. I recently hit 23K, yay! So of course I'll do a live to celebrate that. But moving forward, like, I really want to be intentional about my content, especially because I'm growing, I'm evolving as a woman, and there are some things that I really want to take a jab at this year, especially when it comes to like my personal development and growth. So I kind of switched up like my words for this year. I still have a specific word for this year, but like what I'm focusing on is two things: balance and healing. So of course, balance with trying to find a healthy balance to balance everything that I'm doing, as a mom, wife, business owner, entrepreneur, all that good stuff that I do. But healing, because I feel like without healing, especially with now me dealing with a new layer of healing, as pertaining to grief, because you guys know that I lost both my grandmas, and then I had a miscarriage, which I'm still kind to heal from those things and heal in a healthy way. So those have been my two things: balance and healing, and also just healing from some things that I encountered, some things that I've dealt with, and I'm just trying to be a better woman through healing from the things that have been trying to hold me back for a while now. Just let me know any videos focusing on self-love, healing, self-discovery, just learning more about myself, what I want out of life, and how I want to continue growing as a woman. So if you guys would love to see those kind of videos or those kind of topics, let me know, and I got y'all. So let's hop right into the topic, shall we? So as you guys can see from the title, we're going to talk about forgiveness and healing. So we're going to talk about how you need to forgive and heal so that you can receive your blessings. And I know you're like, huh? I've talked about forgiveness before. I think I did a video on it like a long time ago, but I wanted to talk about it again because I felt it so strongly in my heart for some reason, and I don't know what it was, but I just feel like this topic is very important, and also be another layer of healing that I need, because I've never talked about how I forgave and why I forgive to this day in order to be blessed and to receive the blessings that I get. Okay? Because I don't know, I feel in my heart that there's some of you watching right now that has unforgiveness in your heart right now. I mean, I'm not judging you. I'm not the one to judge. But there's somebody watching this right now that has not forgiven somebody from the past. There's somebody right now that is going through a hard time, and it's because they haven't forgiven somebody that recently hurt them, or somebody did something to them recently or in the past, and you're still harvesting ill feelings towards them. Well, if that is you, this video is for you, okay? All right, so I'm going to share my forgiveness story, how I've been able to forgive, and not just say forgive, but actually forgive, and how forgiveness has changed my life for the better. So let's hop right into it. All right, so what is forgiveness? Forgiveness is the action or process of forgiving or being forgiven. So if you read your Bible, you know that God talks a lot about forgiveness. In Matthew, he talks about it a couple of times, and throughout the Bible, he talks about it a couple of times as well. So forgiveness is pretty much you being the bigger person to forgive what somebody did to you. because I know how it is to think, oh, well, that person hurt me, or they did this to me, or they said that to me, so they should be the ones to apologize or whatever. But that's not how it works, unfortunately. Forgiveness is not for them. Forgiveness is for you. And I'll explain why. All right. So, like I said, there's probably been somebody that hurt you, that said something to you, that just disrespected you or whatever, and you started feeling ill towards them because of what they did to you. So now you're walking around with all this bitterness and anger and rage inside of you over something out of your control. So now you've allowed the situation out of your control to control you. And that is why forgiveness is not for them, it's for you. Okay, you have to be the bigger person to forgive, so that way you're not blocking your blessings, you're not blocking your heart. Your heart is cold and hard because you have this bitterness and unforgiveness inside that you refuse to give to God, or you refuse to heal because you just, it just takes time. So to put it all into context, this is how forgiveness changed my life. Okay. Whew. I didn't think I would have the courage to even talk about this on camera, but this is not only healing for y'all, this is healing for me as well. So how forgiveness changed my life. Okay, so about a year and some change before I met the big guy, I experienced something that I don't wish upon anybody ever ever. But so I was raped, and it was the worst thing I ever experienced. And I'm not sure if I don't know if I'm ready to tell the story, but if you guys would like to know, once I'm ready, I can do it. Like I said, it's freedom, it's healing for me, it's healing. And usually I can tell that I'm healing because usually when I say that word, I cry, and I haven't cried yet. So let's hope I don't cry. But so I was raped, and it was the worst thing I ever experienced, and it really changed me for the worse. It changed me for the worse because it was like something taken from me out of my control. I didn't ask for it. I wasn't drunk. I wasn't anything that people say, oh, that's why it happened to you, blah, blah, blah. No, I was not any of those things, but it happened. So after it happened, I just lost all control of myself, my self-worth, my self-esteem. I didn't have boundaries. I didn't have standards. I would drink and do crazy stuff to suppress the pain. It was bad. Like, it was bad. And then fast forward, I decided to move to live with my dad, because growing up my dad wasn't present. So as I got older, I wanted to build a relationship with him that I feel like I missed out on life with, because I wanted love from my dad and I never got that. Even to be real, I have a stepfather, but I never got that from him as well. So I was just longing for that love from my dad. And so I went to live with him. And even as an adult, I don't want to get too much into it, but even as an adult living with my dad, I still didn't feel loved. I still didn't feel wanted. So I left. And when I left, I was very mad at my dad. I hated my dad. And I don't know, it was just all this bitterness and rage inside of me, but I hated my dad, and I hate him so much that I sent him a long text message cussing him out, y'all. Like, I know in the Bible it says to honor your mother and father, but I gave it to him all, no crumbs, no jollof rice left. I gave it to him all. Oh my goodness. Like, I couldn't believe what I sent my dad. And his response, he was shocked that I said that, and he called me and he was mad, and I wanted to cuss him out again, but I let it go. I just said, I don't got time for this. So fast forward, I just was doing weird stuff. Like, I was just casually dating and doing whatever, doing whoever, and I was literally a hot mess, y'all. And at no point did I ever try to seek God. I was just mad at the world. I just wanted to seek revenge. I was bad. I was hurt internally. So what led me to forgive was I just was at my breaking point. I was just tired of life. I just knew I was heading down the wrong direction. I knew if I did not make a decision to do better with my life, that it was going to end up being detrimental. And that's the breaking point. I got to the point where I needed to get back to church. I needed to seek God again. I needed to be more intentional about why am I harvesting all these ill feelings. And of course it's more stuff than that. I mean, I have family members that I share the same DNA with that hurt me, that talked about me and all this stuff. I have friends that, you know, literally smile on my face and talked about me, and then next minute they need me. Like, it was just I was a mess, y'all. I was a mess. But that was the root of my unforgiveness. So how I forgave was I went back to church, and I remember I heard a sermon about forgiveness, and it was simply, I can't remember exactly what was the light bulb moment, but when they said it was not for them, it was for me, that's when that light bulb came on, because I knew I could sit here and tell somebody, hey, you better apologize to me, you hurt me, you did this and did that, but then they're still going to carry on with their lives. They're going to do whatever, go wherever. They don't care, because in the moment they didn't care that they hurt you. So I knew that I had to be the one to do the work to get over this anger and rage and this bitterness that I had in my heart, so that way I can feel better about myself. I can move on from the situation, because I didn't know how to, because I didn't want to talk to my dad. I didn't want to talk to anybody. I wanted to figure out how me, the one that's hurt, could get over this hurt by reading the Bible, first of all, praying to God to get this bitterness out of me, because it was in me. It wasn't anybody else. It was in me. I had to pray about it. I prayed about it every day. I journaled about it. I wrote like little affirmations. I didn't even know what affirmations were at the time, but I wrote, I'm going to be free of this. I will not let this hurt me. I will not keep this from meeting the love of my life. I will meet somebody that will love me broken. Like, I literally wrote all of this, but I had no intentions of it coming to pass. I knew I had to do the work to get the healing that I needed. And so it took some time. I would say it took about a good 7 months for me to like be completely free of all of this. What after I really like was intentional about my healing, I was intentional about boundaries. Like, I was not just casually dating, I was not just casually having sex or anything. Like, I was real intentional, because I knew I wanted love, but at the time I felt like I wasn't ready for love, because I knew I still had healing to do. And I knew once I got to that place of healing, I would not go into anything with all this baggage and all this madness that I was just carrying it inside of me, you know? And so fast forward to after I truly forgave, not just say I forgave, but I actually forgave and moved forward, that's when I met my husband. And it was literally like the most peaceful transition into what I prayed for and what I was asking for, and even what I wrote down that I ever experienced. And I just had to forgive. Like, I literally had to forgive. Like, even before I met my husband, I actually called my dad. I talked to him. I apologized, because sometimes you got to be the bigger person and apologize, depending on the circumstance. Like, because it was me who said what I said to my dad. So I knew in the Bible it says to honor your mother and father, and although they aren't perfect, you sometimes have to be the bigger person to honor them. And I was a bigger person. I apologized. We talked about it and everything. And then moving forward, that's when I met my husband. And then a whole year later, I became a homeowner, a wife, a mom, and so much more in a year. Like, the following year after I met my husband, found out we were pregnant, we got married, we got a home, we had Maddie that year. Like, I mean, I was blessed. Like, it was like the floodgates of heaven rained upon me that whole year, all because I decided to forgive. I decided to have boundaries. I decided to not let the pain of my past and the tragedy that I experienced with the rape to keep me in bondage from receiving the love that I truly desired and wanted. Even to this day, there's people that I share DNA with that I don't talk to, and that's, and not saying that it's okay, but I forgive them. Like, nobody that I don't talk to or that I had that had issues with before, I am at a place where it's all good. Like, I understand life more. I understand that everybody's not meant to be in your life. And sometimes you just have to be the bigger person to set those boundaries, but set it from a place of forgiveness. So that way it's not like you're cutting people off because you hate them or you wish the bad, you wish the worst for them. No, do it from a place of accepting what is, but being okay with moving forward with not having a bunch of baggage in your life. Give it to God. Like he said, cast your cares upon him. And sometimes that's casting people upon him, casting their issues, whatever it is, give it to him, because that is where your healing is going to come from. The healing is going to come to you, but it has to come from somewhere. It's a spirit that comes inside of you, so that way it is freeing you of the baggage and the bondage and the trauma that is trying to weigh you down and hold you back. Okay? So that is how I knew the power of forgiveness. And once I realized that forgiveness was the key to unlock the blessings that were ahead of me, it's like I have no choice now. Like I said, even to this day, there are people I don't talk to, people that don't like me, and people that talk about me, and it hurts. I'm not gonna lie, it does hurt. It hurts, but I forgive. I forgive people because I know it's the right thing to do, and like I said, it's not for them, it's for me. So if I do see somebody that I haven't talked to in a while, I'm not gonna be like, hey girl, what's up? But I will be cordial, and if we are grown enough to talk about the situation, then we can talk about it. But it has to be from a place of maturity, because I'm not gonna be arguing, going back and forth with people, because I don't have that kind of energy. My brain cells don't work like that anymore, because I'm a mom, and that's my priority right now, to be a mom and a wife to my beautiful blessings. But if you want to sit down and talk about it, let's do it. I'm all for it. So I say all of that to say, a lot of you guys are blocking your blessings because you have not forgiven somebody. And blessings could be anything. It could be the new job that you want. It could be the man or the woman that you've been praying for. It could be anything that God has for you, but he's not going to give it to you when your heart is hardened because of the things out of your control. So, and even in the Bible, he says, how many times are you supposed to forgive your brother? 77 times. What? You mean God, you tripping? For real? I gotta forgive him that many times? Unfortunately, yes. Because remember, it's not for them, it is for you. Even people that, that are online that you don't even know, that bothers your spirit, that they're not doing anything to you. It's you. That's what I'm saying. It's not for them, it's for you. You have to be the one to forgive, so that way it can unlock the things that are ahead for you. Because I'm telling you, you take an inventory of your life right now, and you realize, man, like, I am not where I want to be. I am not doing what I want to do. What is holding me back? Oh, I remember that uncle that did that to me, and I never forgave him. I said I was okay. I'm okay from it, but deep down inside, I'm not. You really have to do some soul searching to get to the root of the unforgiveness that resides in your heart, because it's there. And I try my best to do it every single day, because, like I said, there are people that I share the same DNA with that have hurt me, that have lied on me. I'll go home and they'll smile on my face, but then turn around and talk right behind my back, and it hurts. But I know the power of forgiveness is not for them, it's for myself. So I got to be the bigger person to say, look, you know what you're doing is wrong, right? You know what you did was wrong, but it's okay. I forgive you. I'm just gonna pray for you. And it takes a mature person to pray for somebody that has hurt you. Because I realized that they experienced something that happened to them that now they're taking it out on everybody else. Because people don't wake up mad. They don't wake up wanting to hurt people intentionally. It's something deeply rooted inside. And some people don't get to the root of it. And that's why they take it out on others. They want to see other people hurt. That's why they say hurt people. Because they haven't gotten to the root of their hurt. And so that's why they decide to hurt other people or take their hurt out on other people, because they haven't gotten to the root of their hurt. But if you get to the root of your hurt, then you're not going to be walking around trying to hurt other people. You're not going to try to seek revenge. You're not going to sit here and try to vengeance on other people when God said vengeance is mine. Give it to him. Stop trying to hurt people. Let God take care of it. He ain't going to hurt them, but he's going to take care of it. 3 tips on how to forgive is acknowledge that you need to forgive somebody. Like I said, take inventory of the people that have hurt you or the things that have hurt you in the past, today, yesterday, whatever. Because you will be surprised at what is holding you back. You may think, oh, it's just timing, or it's just I have to be patient and stuff like that. No, it's probably because you haven't forgiven somebody. Because like I said, the moment like I started to forgive and I started to like really be intentional about my healing from the things I encountered, and not just that situation, those situations, I mean, I'm talking about stuff from the past. I mean, I was bullied, people used to tease me and stuff like that. Like, I mean, even the people that used to bully me, like, they try to add me on Facebook, like, you just think we cool all of a sudden. Like, no, but I forgive you though. You have to take inventory of the pain and hurt that you've experienced and say to yourself, I need to forgive, because I may be blocking my blessings, and if I don't change for my good, then I'm going to be a hot mess forever. Things are not going to work out for me, and it's because I chose not to forgive or give it to God. Put it in his hands. So just take inventory of the things or people that have hurt you and just say, you know what? I think I need to do my part and just, for one, pray healing over myself for the situation that happened, and pray for them as well, because maybe nobody's prayed for them and that's why they're doing what they are doing. So maybe you can be the key to unlock their unforgiveness and bitterness or whatever, so that way they can stop hurting people. Acknowledge the hurt and pain, and also seek counseling about it. Like, I think once I started therapy, because when I started therapy to heal from the rape, because it really effed me up, okay? And just keeping it real, it effed me up to the point where, like, I mean, it effed me up mentally, emotionally, physically as well. So I knew I had to heal from this, because it was taking over me emotionally. Like, it was taking over me, and I'm just being honest and real. Like, it got so bad to the point where, like, there was one point when I was having marital relations with my husband, and I stopped midway because I was triggered by a position that I remembered I was in when this person did this to me. And I knew that's when I needed help, because if I'm letting this thing that happened to me prior to my marriage interfere with my marriage, I had to get help for that. Once I got help from that and started doing the work to heal from that traumatic experience, that's when I realized that, okay, we gonna get through this. And that's why now I can talk about it freely, because I'm healing from it, because I know how common these things are, and I'm not the only one who's experienced, the kind of rape that I experienced. And now I want to be the healing that not only do I need, but other women that have gone through this, that never told anybody this, needs as well. Okay, so like I said, if that means you have to seek counseling, seek a therapist or somebody, please do it. I'm telling you, If I needed it, you need it. Don't be afraid, because it's going to change your life. It's going to change your life for the better. All right. And the other tip is to be okay with the closure. Be okay. And another thing is be okay with getting closure, even if that means you don't get an apology. Yep. There are going to be times when you're not going to get an apology for the people that hurt you. You're more than likely you're not going to get an apology. Trust me when I say, okay, trust me when I say this. There are people who have hurt me to the core, and I never got an apology from it. I mean, they've reached out to see how I'm doing, but they never apologized. And it hurts because you know what you did was wrong. You know what you did was wrong, but you didn't say you're sorry. But it's okay, because I did the work for myself to forgive you, so that way I can be free of the bondage and the pain that has been trying to hold me back because of what you did. So you have to be okay with not getting an apology, unfortunately. And how you can do that is simply acknowledging, look, they did this to me. Yes, I'm hurt about it, but I gotta be free of this, because while I'm sitting up here crying myself to sleep, drinking, smoking to suppress this pain, and they're out there about to get married and have babies and stuff like that, I can't live my life like this, because they're not worrying about me. They know what their conscience knows what they did. And while they're living their life, I can't sit here and cry myself over what happened out of my control. And I know it's easier said than done, but trust me when I say, you are going to have those moments when you're not going to get an apology, but you still got to do the work to forgive, so that way you can move on and be free of the bondage and trauma that happened out of your control that you'll never get an apology for. And if you are the one that hurt somebody, be the bigger person and apologize. I mean, sometimes we have to acknowledge that we are the ones in the wrong. And as much as prideful as we can be and don't want to, we have to, because the one who is set free is free indeed. And sometimes saying I'm sorry for what I did could be the freedom that you need, so that your life can stop being in shambles. I'm telling you, if you take inventory in your life and you wonder why your life is in shambles, why is my life like this? You will realize that it is you, my friend, that are the problem. When I was a hot mess and arguing and cussing my daddy out and just doing whatever, doing whoever, I realized I was the mess. I was the hot mess because of the unforgiveness, the bitterness, the anger, the rage that I had inside for people, for men. I hated men because of what happened to me. No, I wasn't going to go gay or anything, but I hated men. I hated my dad. I didn't want love. I wanted love. I knew I wanted to be a wife. I wanted to be a mom, because that's always what I wanted to be. I've always wanted to be a wife and mom. But I didn't want it because I didn't think I was worthy of it, because no man loved me, or I felt like no man loved me. And I knew deep down inside, because of the rooted issue that I had, I was like, nobody's going to want me after somebody done took advantage of me. Nobody's going to want me because I'm just like, I just felt like nobody would want me because of what I experienced. My dad didn't love me, or felt like my dad didn't love me. So it was like, what man is going to love me? But I knew writing down those things that I wanted for myself would bring that eventually. I don't know what it, like, that's why when people doing these videos about manifestation and all this stuff, like, I've been doing that. I just never knew there was a word for it. And years later, like, I'm not where I want to be at, but what I wrote down and what I prayed for and what I dreamt of while I was in that forgiving stage of my life, I'm in it. It's like life, the fruit is coming to pass. And that's why people always ask, like, why are you so happy? Why are things happening for you? Why are things? Because I forgave people for the worst of the worst. Like I'm only telling y'all half of what I have been forgiving people for. But that is why people that troll me, I forgive you. My parents, I forgive y'all. I love y'all. Because people aren't blessed to have their parents. My parents aren't perfect, but I'm blessed to have them, and I'm blessed that they're alive, they're healthy, and we're all learning. We're all trying, and I have to do my part to know that they're imperfect people. They didn't ask for me to be here. I just happened to be here because of them. But I forgive them and I love them, and I want to make things work so that way I can live long because I'm honoring my parents. And you just have to do your part, y'all. Like, if you haven't learned anything from me, please learn the power of forgiveness, because it is going to change your life. I may not even get a lot of views from this because I know my views fluctuate and whatever, but if I touch one person with this story or this lesson, I've done my job. I've done my job, or I've done my job. Please forgive. Please. Because you may do all the things right. You may be tithing. You may be laying hands, speaking tongues on people. But if you're not forgiving people, you're not doing it right. You're not doing it right. You're not doing something right. So also, I suggest watching Forgiveness University by Pastor Michael Todd from Transformation Church. That whole series, that was for me, because it reminded me of that season that I was in when I was forgiving, people and myself, because I had to forgive myself too. Forgiveness is not just for other people too, it's for you. And sometimes you got to forgive you for the things that you've done, the things that you've thought, and all that. So that series just reminded me of the place that I was at, and it was such a reassurance and such an eye-opener. So I'll leave the playlist down below in case you need to go back and watch it. It will change your life. All right, so that is it for today. I didn't mean for this video to be super long, but like I said, I want this year to be all about healing. I want this to be about personal development, personal growth, and growth in so many ways. But to me, I feel like the first thing we need to get to the root of is our heart. And sometimes unforgiveness is the root of why things aren't happening for us, because we haven't gotten to the root of it. So take inventory of it, realize, do what you have to do to forgive. Hey, if you want to reach out and say, hey, I forgive you, fine, do it. But don't let that be an open door to allow them to come into your life. Just because you forgive people does not mean that they should have access into the new season that you're in, because people are in your life for seasons. And just because you forgive them does not mean you should allow them back into your season to disturb your peace. Okay? Because I actually saw the person that did whatever to me, and at the moment in my mind, I wanted to kill them. I did. I said in my head, I was like, I should get a knife and stab this person. But then the bigger part of me said, you know what? I'm not going to do that. This is not mine anymore. This issue is not mine. If I truly forgave, then I wouldn't be trying to seek revenge. And once I said that to myself, it was all good. So like I said, if you've learned anything from me, please learn the power of forgiveness. It will change your life. All right? So I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Give it a big thumbs up. Feel free to share, like, comment, and all of that. And let me know any topics that you guys would like for Tuesday, because I know I haven't done these in a while, but I'm going to try to bring these back more. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.